Imagine a place where beaches are so perfect they look computer-generated, where granite boulders the size of houses create natural sculptures along pristine coastlines, and where the water is so crystal clear you can see tropical fish swimming 30 feet below. Now imagine that 99% of people have never heard of this place, and those who have often can't even pronounce it correctly. Welcome to Seychelles, a collection of 115 islands scattered across the Indian Ocean that makes the Maldives look ordinary and puts Bora Bora to shame. This place has plants and animals that exist nowhere else on Earth, beaches that seem to defy physics, and secrets that even seasoned travelers don't know. Some islands here are so exclusive that only a handful of people visit them each year, while others harbor mysteries that scientists are still trying to solve. You won't believe what this tiny nation has managed to preserve, while the rest of the world's paradises have been destroyed by mass tourism and development. We're about to take you on a journey to Earth's last unspoiled paradise, and by the end of this video, you'll be wondering how you've never heard of the most beautiful place on our planet. Before we get started, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more exotic travel content. Let's start with something that will blow your mind. Seychelles is so remote and exclusive that it has remained virtually unknown to most of the world, despite being absolutely stunning. Located about 1,000 miles off the coast of East Africa in the Indian Ocean, Seychelles consists of 115 islands. But here's the kicker: only about 30 of them are inhabited, and most tourists only ever see 3 or 4. The entire country has a population smaller than most suburban towns, just under 100,000 people, spread across an area the size of Los Angeles. But don't let the small size fool you. This tiny nation punches way above its weight when it comes to natural beauty and biodiversity. Seychelles is home to 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and nearly 50% of the country's land area is protected as national parks and reserves. That's a higher percentage than almost any other country on Earth. The isolation that kept Seychelles hidden for centuries is also what preserved it. While other tropical destinations were being discovered and developed into tourist traps, Seychelles remained largely untouched. There are no McDonald's here, no Starbucks, no massive hotel chains dominating the coastline. Instead, you'll find pristine nature, small family-run accommodations, and beaches that look exactly like they did 500 years ago. And here's something most people don't realize. Seychelles isn't just one type of island. The inner islands are made of granite, some of the oldest rock on Earth, creating those iconic boulder formations you see in photos. The outer islands are coral atolls, flat and remote, some so untouched that scientists discover new species there regularly. The country is so committed to conservation that they've created some of the most progressive environmental policies on the planet. They've banned single-use plastics, established massive marine protected areas, and even have laws limiting coastal development. This isn't just a pretty place. It's a country that's actively working to stay that way. Beaches that defy reality. You think you've seen beautiful beaches? Think again. Seychelles has beaches so perfect they literally look fake, and each one is completely different from the others. Let's start with Anse Source d'Argent on La Digue Island, consistently ranked as one of the world's most beautiful beaches. Picture this: powder-soft white sand that's so fine, it feels like walking on silk, massive pink granite boulders sculpted by millions of years of erosion into impossible shapes, and water so clear and blue it looks like liquid sapphire. The boulders create natural pools and lagoons, each one a private paradise. But here's what's really incredible. These granite formations are some of the oldest exposed rock on Earth, over 650 million years old. You're literally walking among stones that were here before complex life existed on our planet. The pink coloring comes from feldspar crystals in the granite, creating a color palette that seems too perfect to be natural. Then there's Anse Lazio on Praslin Island, a beach so stunning it's been featured in countless movies and commercials. The beach stretches for nearly a mile of perfect white sand, framed by massive granite boulders and backed by lush tropical forest. The water here is incredibly calm thanks to a protective coral reef, making it perfect for swimming year-round. But here's the secret most visitors never discover. Some of the most beautiful beaches in Seychelles are completely deserted. Anse Marron, also on La Digue, requires a challenging hike through granite formations to reach, which means you might have this slice of paradise completely to yourself. The effort is worth it. You'll find natural pools carved into the granite, waterfalls cascading directly onto the beach, and views that will make you question whether you're still on Earth. What makes these beaches truly special isn't just their beauty, it's their pristine condition. The sand is so clean you could eat off it, the water is so pure you can drink it in some areas, and the marine life is so abundant that every snorkeling session feels like swimming in an aquarium. And here's something that will shock you. Many of these world-class beaches have no facilities whatsoever. No beach bars, no jet ski rentals, no crowds of tourists. Just pure, unspoiled nature, exactly as it was meant to be. Seychelles isn't just about pretty beaches. It's home to some of the most unique and rare wildlife on Earth, including species that exist nowhere else on the planet. Let's start with the Aldabra giant tortoise, one of the most incredible creatures you'll ever encounter. These gentle giants can live for over 200 years and weigh up to 550 pounds. But here's what's amazing. There are more giant tortoises in Seychelles than there are people. Over 150,000 of these prehistoric creatures roam freely across several islands, making it one of the last places on Earth where you can see them in their natural habitat. The most famous resident is Esmeralda, a giant tortoise on Bird Island who's estimated to be over 170 years old and weighs nearly 700 pounds. This massive creature has been alive since before the American Civil War and shows no signs of slowing down. You can actually walk right up to these gentle giants. They're completely harmless and often seem curious about human visitors. But the tortoises are just the beginning. Seychelles is home to the coco de mer, the world's largest seed and one of the most bizarre plants on Earth. These palm trees produce nuts that can weigh up to 40 pounds and take 25 years to mature. The nuts have a distinctive shape that, well, let's just say they've inspired countless legends and myths throughout history. The coco de mer grows naturally only in Seychelles, specifically in the Vallée de Mai on Praslin Island, which is so unique it's been designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Walking through this ancient palm forest feels like stepping back in time. The trees tower overhead, creating a cathedral-like canopy, while the forest floor is carpeted with giant leaves and mysterious sounds echo through the darkness. Bird lovers will lose their minds here. Seychelles is home to several endemic bird species found nowhere else on Earth, including the Seychelles magpie robin, which was once down to just 12 individuals, but has been successfully brought back from near extinction. The Seychelles black parrot, found only on Praslin, is equally rare and beautiful. But here's what's really incredible. The marine life. The waters around Seychelles are home to whale sharks, manta rays, sea turtles, and some of the most diverse coral reefs in the Indian Ocean. During certain times of the year, you can swim with whale sharks, the gentle giants of the sea that can grow up to 40 feet long, but feed only on plankton. Speaking of mysterious places, let's dive deeper into one of the most otherworldly locations on Earth, the Vallée de Mai, a primeval forest that inspired the legend of the Garden of Eden. This 20-hectare forest on Praslin Island has remained virtually unchanged for millions of years. When you step into the Vallée de Mai, you're literally walking through a living museum of what Earth looked like in prehistoric times. The forest is dominated by 6 species of endemic palms, including the famous coco de mer, creating a canopy so thick that it blocks out most sunlight. The atmosphere inside is almost mystical. Shafts of green-filtered light pierce through the canopy, exotic bird calls echo from invisible perches, and the air is thick with humidity and the scent of ancient Earth. Many visitors report feeling like they've stepped into another world entirely. But here's what makes this place truly special. It's one of only 2 places on Earth where palm forests dominate the ecosystem. The trees here have evolved in isolation for millions of years, creating species found nowhere else on the planet. Some of the Coco de Mer palms are over 800 years old, meaning they were already mature when Christopher Columbus was born. The legends surrounding this place are as fascinating as the reality. Early sailors believed the Coco de Mer nuts were sea coconuts that grew on trees beneath the ocean, because they would wash up on shores throughout the Indian Ocean, but no one could find where they came from. When the source was finally discovered in Seychelles, the mystery only deepened. The forest is also home to the rare Seychelles black parrot, and if you're incredibly lucky, you might spot one of these elusive birds during your visit. The parrots are perfectly camouflaged against the dark palm fronds, and their calls add to the prehistoric atmosphere of the forest. Scientists still don't fully understand all the secrets of the Vallée de Mai. New species are occasionally discovered here, and researchers are constantly uncovering new information about how this unique ecosystem has survived and thrived in isolation for so long. Here's something that sets Seychelles apart from every other tropical paradise. They've figured out how to offer world-class luxury without destroying the environment that makes the place special. Seychelles has some of the most exclusive and expensive resorts in the world. But here's the difference. They're designed to blend seamlessly with nature rather than dominate it. Take North Island, where Prince William and Kate Middleton honeymooned. This ultra-exclusive resort has just 11 villas, each designed to be virtually invisible from the beach and built using only sustainable materials. The attention to detail is incredible. The resort spent years rehabilitating the island's ecosystem before opening, reintroducing native species and removing invasive plants. Today, the island is actually more pristine than it was before the resort was built. Guests pay upwards of $7,000 per night, but that money directly funds conservation efforts throughout Seychelles. Frigate Island Private takes this philosophy even further. This private island resort is home to one of the most successful conservation projects in the Indian Ocean. The island now hosts several species that were extinct elsewhere in Seychelles, including the Seychelles magpie robin and giant tortoises. Guests staying here are literally helping to save endangered species just by being there. But luxury in Seychelles isn't just about expensive resorts. It's about experiences you can't get anywhere else on Earth. Imagine having breakfast on a private beach, where the only footprints in the sand are yours, or snorkeling in waters so clear you can see the coral formations 50 feet below. The country has also developed a thriving ecotourism industry that allows visitors to experience the natural wonders without damaging them. You can take guided walks through pristine forests, snorkel in protected marine parks, or visit conservation centers where you can see rare species up close. What's really impressive is how Seychelles has managed to maintain this balance. The government strictly limits the number of tourists who can visit, ensures that development follows strict environmental guidelines, and requires that tourism dollars contribute to conservation efforts. Beyond the natural beauty, Seychelles has a fascinating cultural story that most people never hear about. This tiny nation is one of the most diverse places on Earth, with a unique blend of African, European, Asian, and Arab influences that have created something entirely new. The population is a beautiful mix of ethnicities, and you'll hear 3 official languages spoken daily: Creole, French, and English. But it's the Creole culture that really makes Seychelles special. This isn't just a language. It's a whole way of life that emerged from the blending of different cultures over hundreds of years. The music is infectious, a blend of African rhythms, European melodies, and Indian Ocean island influences that creates something you won't hear anywhere else. Traditional Sega music and dance performances are common, and you'll often find locals playing drums on the beach at sunset. The food is equally amazing. Seychellois cuisine combines fresh seafood, tropical fruits, and spices from around the Indian Ocean. You'll taste curries that blend Indian spices with local ingredients, fresh fish prepared with African cooking techniques, and tropical fruits you've never heard of. But what's really remarkable is how this small population has maintained its unique identity while welcoming visitors from around the world. There's a warmth and friendliness here that feels genuine, not manufactured for tourists. Locals are genuinely proud of their islands and eager to share their knowledge about the best hidden spots and local traditions. The art scene is surprisingly vibrant for such a small country. Local artists create stunning works inspired by the natural beauty around them, using everything from traditional materials to recycled ocean plastic. You'll find galleries tucked away in unexpected places, showcasing art that captures the unique spirit of island life. Here's what might be the most impressive thing about Seychelles. They've managed to create one of the world's most successful conservation programs while still maintaining a thriving economy and welcoming tourists. Seychelles has committed to protecting 30% of its ocean territory, an area larger than Germany, as marine protected areas. This isn't just paper protection either. They actively patrol these waters and enforce strict regulations. The result has been a remarkable recovery of marine ecosystems that were once threatened. The bird conservation programs are equally impressive. Several species that were on the brink of extinction have been brought back to sustainable populations through careful breeding programs and habitat restoration. The Seychelles warbler, once down to just 26 individuals on a single island, now numbers in the thousands across multiple islands. But perhaps the most ambitious project is the Island Restoration Program. Several islands that had been degraded by invasive species and past human activity have been completely rehabilitated. Teams of scientists and conservationists have removed invasive plants, reintroduced native species, and restored natural ecosystems. Cousin Island is a perfect example. This small island was purchased by BirdLife International and transformed from a coconut plantation back into its natural state. Today, it's home to over 300,000 seabirds and 5 species of endangered birds. Visitors can take guided tours to see conservation in action. The success of these programs has made Seychelles a model for other island nations around the world. Scientists and conservationists come here to study how small island states can balance development with environmental protection. Here's something that makes Seychelles even more perfect. The weather is absolutely ideal year-round, and there's a scientific reason why this place has the best climate on Earth. Seychelles sits just south of the equator, which means it has a tropical climate without the extreme seasonal variations you find in other tropical destinations. The temperature rarely drops below 75 degrees Fahrenheit or rises above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and the trade winds provide a constant cooling breeze that makes even the hottest days comfortable. But here's the secret: Seychelles is outside the cyclone belt. While other Indian Ocean destinations get hammered by tropical storms and cyclones, Seychelles remains largely protected. The worst weather you're likely to encounter is a brief tropical shower, which usually passes quickly and leaves everything looking even more lush and beautiful. The water temperature is equally perfect, staying between 79 and 84 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. This means you can swim, snorkel, and dive comfortably any time of year. The visibility underwater is consistently excellent, often exceeding 100 feet, making it one of the world's best destinations for underwater photography. There are 2 main seasons: the dry season from May to October, and the wet season from November to April. But even the wet season is nothing like the monsoons you might expect. The rains usually come in short, intense bursts that cool things off and then pass quickly. This perfect climate isn't just great for visitors. It's also why the wildlife and plant life here are so diverse and thriving. The consistent temperature and humidity create ideal conditions for tropical species to flourish year-round. So there you have it, Seychelles, the island paradise that somehow managed to stay secret while becoming one of the most extraordinary places on Earth. From beaches that look too perfect to be real to wildlife found nowhere else on the planet, from ancient forests that inspired legends to conservation success stories that give hope for our planet's future. This isn't just another tropical destination. It's a glimpse of what our world could look like if we prioritized preservation over profit, quality over quantity, and long-term thinking over short-term gains. Seychelles proves that it's possible to create a thriving tourism industry while actually improving the environment rather than destroying it. The country has managed to achieve something that seems impossible in today's world. They've created a paradise that's getting better, not worse, over time. Every dollar spent here supports conservation efforts, every visitor contributes to the protection of endangered species, and every hotel built follows strict environmental guidelines. But perhaps the most remarkable thing about Seychelles is that it's still largely unknown. While other tropical destinations have been overrun by mass tourism and lost their magic, Seychelles remains pristine, exclusive, and authentically beautiful. Will Seychelles remain a secret forever? Probably not. More and more travelers are discovering this incredible destination every year. But thanks to the government's commitment to sustainable tourism and environmental protection, even as more people discover Seychelles, it will likely remain the kind of place that restores your faith in the natural world. What do you think? Does Seychelles sound like the kind of paradise you've been dreaming of? Would you be willing to travel halfway around the world to experience this hidden gem? Let us know in the comments below. If this journey to paradise opened your eyes to one of the world's most incredible destinations, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with fellow travel dreamers, and subscribe to our channel for more hidden gems and travel secrets from around the globe. Your support helps us continue exploring and sharing the world's most amazing places that deserve to be protected and appreciated. Paradise isn't lost, it's just waiting for you in Seychelles.